Whoa. What is up, black people? What's up, everybody? I hope everything is amazing for you all as always. I'm your host, the Honorable OCT OctaviusHaye, and this is the WACCast podcast. That being said, let's talk whack to 'em. So we begin the episode today talking about the man formerly known as Big Ac, DJ Akademiks. So DJ Akademiks' girl, I guess his ex-girl now, she came out saying that he beats her. She came out saying that DJ Akademiks, he has STD, herpes. DJ Akademiks' ex-girl came out saying that he was the cause of her miscarriage. So with all this going on, you know Akademiks had to come out and respond. So Akademiks came out and gave his story. Now I told you what the girl was saying. DJ Akademiks' girl was saying that he was abusive to her. He caused her to have a miscarriage. He had herpes. Akademiks came out and tried to straighten the story up. Now, according to Akademiks, this girl was wild. He had told her that he was going to sleep with other girls, and he let her know that ahead of time, but she would be the main. And according to Akademiks, his girl said, okay, that's cool. I can do that. Then went ahead and flipped on him, started going off on the girls, want to fight other girls, started, hacking his phone and his stuff, his laptop, was disconnecting his accounts. He had, turning off his accounts. He had to contact the companies to have it turn, his accounts, like the stuff like Twitch or whatever, come back on. It was just being a whole menace to him because she didn't like that he was sleeping around with other women, even though according to Akademiks, she agreed to it. Even went so far as they got intimate with each other. He finished inside of her, and she promised. He went to go get a Plan B pill. She promised she would take it. Didn't take it. They got into it, and she sent him a picture of it showing that she never took it. Was comfortable going to have the baby. Akademiks didn't want to have the baby. They was beefing about it, and Akademiks said that he pretty much himself said, "If you had this baby, I ain't gonna be with you." So she decided to go ahead and get the abortion pill. Of course, just like the Plan B pill, she didn't take that either, and it took another argument for that to be exposed. So all this stuff's happening, and he even brought up one incident where she wanted her friend, her best friend, who she said she came up with in the sandbox. She wanted her to come stay over at Akademiks' house. Have a lot of enemies. He didn't want the girl at the house, but Akademiks said his girl was pestering him, so he gave in. Well, come and find out, she had set up for her boy, the Akademiks' girlfriend's friend had set up for her own boyfriend to rob Akademiks. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but it was Akademiks' own girlfriend's friend that, set all this up. So that was even more of an issue. Now, I say that Akademiks can no longer call himself Big Ac, because if we're going to believe Akademiks' version of the story, in all this big boss talk, all this puffing out your chest, man, that was just for the camera, man, because in real life, bro, you let your girl do all type of stuff. I would have been kicked her out the house. She would have been gone. And she doing all this in front of my mama. She messing up your money, disconnecting your accounts, or disabling your accounts on stuff, monitoring where you at, going off on girls, trying to fight everybody. And you a whole commodity here, and you trying to talk to other girls, going on Fresh and Fit, trying to talk about how you the prize and you the boss, and you over here getting pushed around by your own girl, man. Never in a million years could a girl show me that she didn't take a Plan B, and I'm gonna believe she took the abortion pill. First of all, I'm not gonna. If I come to bring you that Plan B, you taking it in front of me, But this man fell for the okie doke twice. You are not Big Ac. I mean, and Akademiks' enemies even came out. Blueface said it. What Blueface? Blueface said, "You talking about me and Krishan, and you just like me, Ac. You just a nigga like everybody else." And yes, Blueface is correct. Akademiks, you are just like him. You're just like him, and you and your girl Akademiks are just like Blueface and Krishan Rock. It's the truth. And so I have to take the title of Big Ac away from you, or at least I'm not gonna call you that. You can call yourself that, but it's a falsehood, man. It's not true. It's not true no more, man. We see how the girls do you. Now I believe that you bought Selena that car, man. And I'm an Ac fan. Look, I got nothing but love for Ac. I support Akademiks, but this was a sad story. So either way it goes, this is bad for Akademiks. Either his girl is right and he got herpes, and he is abusive and he caused her to have a miscarriage. Akademiks is right, and his woman's out here acting wild and crazy. He just don't know what to do. He just getting pushed around, which is sad. So he say they done. I don't know if they done, but either way, that Big Ac is gone. You're just Akademiks now. I don't even know if you should be called a DJ anymore. Now, if you're into or watch the news / politics, then you're aware that Fox News decided to drop its most popular newsman, the most popular newsman in all of cable or just news period, Tucker Carlson, and CNN went ahead and dropped its own newsman, Don Lemon. Now, my personal opinion on both of these guys is that they are different sides of the same coin. They are establishment media. They service the establishment. They have different ways of going about that. Tucker Carlson is a populist right person who uses these social issues to get you to back candidates that will continue with the economic inequality that goes on, and they have you believe that these politicians are fighting for you, when these politicians, like most politicians, are fighting for corporations. Don Lemon is another establishment news reporter who tells you on the other side that the Democrats, everything they're doing is fine, status quo is fine, and there's no fundamental need for change because, hey, the Democrats, they're nice to, minorities and people in the LGBTQ community. So your financial suffrage is okay because these people, that if you try to change things too much, it's going to all collapse, right? Both of them pretty much are trying to keep you in the status quo, just in different ways and servicing different parts of the country. So I have no love for Don Lemon, and I definitely have no love for Tucker Carlson. And both of them, for talking about being two sides of the same coin, have both, like I said, become unemployed, and for two different reasons, though. So in the case of Tucker Carlson, everybody knows Fox News had to go ahead and settle out of court for like crazy money, over $700 million for their claims on election fraud, and pretty much it's been proven that they knew that they were stating false information about the 2020 election being stolen, but they wanted to keep on talking about it because it was good for ratings. And as part of this lawsuit, there was a lot of information or text messages going through. Tucker Carlson was one of those people who vehemently let it be known that he didn't believe anything Donald Trump was saying, and Tucker Carlson let it be known he didn't believe that there were any lies about the 2020 election, but Tucker Carlson said they had to talk like this for the audience. So letting it be known that that Fox News is coverage on the so-called election fraud, they knew it was fake. Add that with Tucker Carlson has some harassment, a lawsuit coming against him. Add that with Tucker Carlson also was saying that some guy that was at the January 6th riot was a government agent, a federal agent, and it was like the government was trying to stoke a fight to arrest right-wingers, or trying to stoke the people to do the riots to arrest right-wingers, and just randomly pick this guy out. He might be suing. Add that to the fact that Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News, wants everybody to start supporting Ron DeSantis. They don't want to support Trump. They think he's a loser. They can't win general elections with him. So, he wants everybody at Fox News to support Ron DeSantis, and Tucker Carlson's like still supporting Donald Trump and staying with that MAGA, extremist right-wing base. So Rupert Murdoch was like, look, man, I'm had to let you go. He let him go. Tucker Carlson, it's a power move. It's to reestablish the power at Fox News and to take back the power in the Republican Party, which is pretty much Trump's party. And a lot of old school Republicans don't want it to be Trump's party. They think they go a little bit too extreme. See, Republicans just want tax cuts and deregulations. All right, they want to give money to the rich and have to abide to as few rules as possible. And that's all they tripping off of. All this extra stuff of trying to, split the country up and going to war with each other, that's just bad for business. They don't like that. And people like Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump support that. And they're like, nah, let's just keep it, Fox, they want Fox News to be more like a Mitt Romney type of Republican where we gonna rob you, but we gonna be nice about it, Whereas Trump and them is just like, F you guys, we gonna kick you out of our, which they do a little bit of that too, but not that extreme. Now, Don Lemon, on the other hand, well, let me go back to Tucker Carlson, Professor. So Tucker Carlson, like I said, he's the number one, he had the number one watch show in all of news. He's the number one guy. He was a big high roller. Dropping him brought, I think, Fox News stock prices down to like 4%, by 4%. And so it's a big deal to lose him. And there's a lot of people wondering what's going to happen next with Fox News. Tucker was the biggest cash cow, the main draw there at Fox News. You don't have to worry about nothing like that with Don Lemon. He was not the biggest thing in CNN. In fact, his ratings were terrible. He just got moved to a morning show, and he was causing all kind of problems. Now, CNN, for whatever reason, they didn't like Don Lemon, and they were going to find any way to get rid of him. It already had been leaks about him being difficult to work with, and all this other stuff about his attitude, how much he hates women. He had made some, I guess what some people would call sexist comments, talking about women's, they're out of their prime or whatever, and they're by the time they're in their 30s or 40s, which, you know, childbearing, yeah, but career-wise, no. But, I mean, who cares about that? But it was anything that they could use to make Don Lemon look bad, so when they fired him, that the blow wouldn't hurt so much. And that's what it is. They let him go. They got this, like I said, they got this new morning show. It's not really doing too hot. They want somebody to blame Don Lemon, and he's gone. Don Lemon said that nobody contacted him. He had to hear about it from, I think, his lawyers or whatever. CNN came out and said that's not true. He was offered to talk to the head of CNN, but he decided to go online about it. So I don't know. As I said before, I don't care for either one of these two men. I think they both come from just a corrupt crap system that preaches to stick with the status quo no matter what, and any type of fundamental change that could make things a little bit more equal, you know, economically for people in this country, they fight against, and they only promote the politicians that try to keep the status quo with maybe, in Don Lemon's case, some cuts around the edges, but not really, nothing really transformational that would help people for generations. So yeah, that's my take on them. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that between the two of them, Tucker Carlson has the best chance of doing something outside of mainstream media. And I could see a lot of people, because Tucker Carlson did bring a lot of youngsters. I could see him doing something, maybe starting his own company, becoming part of some other company and trying to big that up. I could definitely see that in Tucker Carlson's future. As far as Don Lemon concerned, I could see him doing like Good Morning America or something like that, in the vein of that, where it's kind of newsy, but not really. I think he could do that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care for either one of them, but this was just crazy to see, you know, both of them fired on Monday, both of them let go, and especially for Tucker Carlson to be, you know, the number one guy at Fox really shows you that Republicans are ready to just try to go back away from Trump and any of that extreme talk and just get back to the tax cuts and the deregulations. And as far as Don Lemon, I think he kind of pushed back a little bit on somebody running for president, and CNN don't want none of that. They just want you to kiss the boots of politicians and don't challenge them and anything they say, and try to be respectful and decorum. And all that stuff is trash to me. So this isn't a loss, in my opinion, as far as like having people, crapping people on television. This is actually a win for viewers. Some people might take it as a loss. But either way, I think both of them made a lot of money to just sit up there and talk bull crap. So they'll both be fine. Now tell me y'all didn't think that he was done. Now tell me that y'all did not think that he was just going to roll over and take that punishment without still trying to fight to the very last breath. Tory Lanez, while in jail, awaiting sentencing after being found guilty of whatever he was found guilty of in the court trial against Meg Thee Stallion. Something about shooting against the state of California, as far as accusing him of shooting Meg or shooting a gun or whatever he was thrown in jail for. He's come out with a letter to the district attorney. Tory Lanez has. Tory Lanez on that letter is asking the district attorney to do the right thing, because Tory is saying that he is an innocent black man who was wrongly convicted, and that the people in the district attorney's office, the lawyers that tried against Tory, they got things wrong. They mishandled situations. Tory saying he's going to be forced to come out and expose some wrongdoings. Now, Tory also later came out, I think it was a day or two later, and exposed that when it was stated that the DNA that was found on the gun was inconclusive to be a match with Tory Lanez, and so therefore we could not rule out the possibility that the DNA was Tory Lanez, Tory said that wasn't true. Tory Lanez said that he did an independent DNA test and that it came out that the DNA was not his. I guess this was 100% not Tory Lanez DNA found on the gun. Tory Lanez is saying that there are other things out there too. Now, my I guess my opinion on this thing is, I don't know if this is gonna help, because, or you're gonna have to come up with some more details like that, because your own witness, Tory Lanez's own witness, came out and said that Tory did have the gun. Now the witness said that Kelsey had the gun first, but that Tory wrestled with her and grabbed the gun, and that the gun went off when he had it. So the witness that Tory brought into the trial is stating that. So I don't know, so what was true or what wasn't true, you know what I'm saying? Now when it comes to this case, when it comes to this night, I don't know what happened. I, like many people, was hoping that the trial would bring more answers. All it did was bring more questions, bro. Like, this has gotten so confusing. I know that all of them are lying for whatever reason. Meg's story, which doesn't get called out enough, just does not match at all with what anybody was saying. Doesn't match up at all with the facts of the case and what Meg herself said earlier. And not just the part where she said she stepped on glass, but just the whole, how she remembers the night going, arguing, and everything. So this, clearly there's more to this whole story. But Tory has already been found guilty, and unless he has more information, like the things were just misstated to make him be found guilty, I don't see a judge saying that they need a new trial. And I definitely don't see the DA's officers agreeing with Tory and saying, yeah, let's do another trial. I think we messed up. That's not going to happen. So I think, am I mad at Tory Lanez for doing this? No. He wants to fight for his freedom. This is what you do. You try to appeal. You try to do anything you can to get yourself another case. You don't want to go to jail for however long Tory can go to jail for it, and he still has the potential to be deported, which could severely hurt his career and his money he getting. You know, he won't be able to come out and perform in America. So I understand him trying to do this. And if that is proven true with the DNA, that is something big. I just don't know if that's enough to get a retrial. And maybe it is. Who knows? We'll see. I don't remember the exact date when his sentencing is coming up, but it's coming up soon. And of course, I'm going to be covering that. But if Tory Lanez does have more information, if he does have proof that there were things weren't handled the best, and or that people were just, like, blatantly lying or spreading misinformation so that he looked more guilty, expose that. I talked about the lawyer. I talked about the witness that Tory Lanez had brought up, and is the only eyewitness to the event that wasn't in the car, so completely unbiased, just watching. One of the people that lived, the person that lived in the house they were by, he came, and the district attorney's people wanted to have a meeting with him, and it was stated, this is alleged, that once he came back from that meeting, he wouldn't even look Tory and his team in their eyes. So I don't know what's that about. Now that's some conspiracy stuff. I wouldn't go with that. I would just, if Tory has more proof of evidence being messed with or not representing the best way or being hidden, that could swing a jury in a different direction. I mean, at this point, you have nothing to lose. You've already been found guilty. You need to aim for the fences, man. Do whatever you can. It can't hurt you to try to expose a little bit more stuff and try to get people to look at something, and maybe you get a judge who's like, this don't look right, maybe. But if you ask me what I really think is going to happen, more than likely, you're just going to get your sentencing. There's not going to be a retrial, and it is what it is. What's happened has happened. We can't change that. I think that this whole case was a little iffy. Personally, I think it should have been thrown out. The jury did not agree, and this is where we're at. So, like I said, I don't blame Tory Lanez for doing whatever he feels like he has to do to get his freedom for himself, his career, for his child, and whoever else. I get that. But if you are a Tory Lanez fan, I would advise you, please do not get your hopes up. So that's the show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and getting this whack wisdom. And I hope to tune in next week to get a little bit more from me. As always, if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you are listening to this on YouTube. And if you're listening to this on a podcasting app, which we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, please make sure to like so you're notified every time I'm dropping new content on those platforms as well as leave a review if that option is available. With that being said, this is the WACCast podcast, and I am whacking off. It's the WACCast podcast.
whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.